Hey, Jerry Stevenson, Chief Redneck in Charge, the Redneck BBQ Lab, and the Redneck Scientific Competition Team. I'm here today to show you guys some of the products that we use to make proven winning competition barbecue out there at contest and at the lab. But now, more importantly, you guys will be able to take these products and produce that same barbecue at home, just like at the lab and at the competitions. So, if you find this video informative, please like it, subscribe to our channel. We'll be having a lot more videos coming out later, and please share this with your friends. Right now, guys, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about our salsas and our rubs and some of the other products that we have. A lot of the questions that I get, not only in the restaurant, but out on the tournament trail is, well, you've got these products, where do they come from? Well, the products that you see before us have come through a lot of trial, a lot of error, a lot of tweaking, and a lot of positive response. By positive response, I mean, we've been blessed over the 7 years, my sister and myself, in 160 competitions that we competed in, to win 23 times, come in second place 19 times, but overall been able to hear our name called in the top 10 over 450 times using these salsas and these rubs. So that's where the moniker proven winning competition barbecue comes from. Next question we get a lot of times is, well, what do we use them all? Well, that's what I'd like to talk to you a little bit here about today, and how these products are used, not only in my house, but outside in the competition world and in the lab itself. First thing we'll talk about is our rubs. There's 3 different rubs here that we have, that we use at home, in the competition trail, and in the lab. The first one, this is the one that started it all off on. This rub right here is our all-purpose competition rub. It's something that came from a childhood memory of mine. I used to love having barbecue corn chips from a certain company, and there was a seasoning on them. I found myself licking my fingers just wanting more. And I had this in my head, and this barbecue seasoning had kind of a hickory, a salty, sugary type blend of spices that, more importantly, like I said before, wanted me to take one more bite, wanted me more. So when we were developing this, not only for our barbecue at home or in the lab, was we wanted this to influence judges enough to give us good scores. So that's where that came from. This seasoning is the base that I put on my chicken, my ribs, our brisket at the lab. I put this stuff on baked potatoes and popcorn at home. As crazy as it may seem, I wouldn't doubt if someone told me to put it on ice cream. Second rub we use a lot, that was developed after this one, was a chicken and rib rub. This chicken and rib rub was made for more delicate meats, has a little higher sugar content so that the meats develop a better color quicker, because chicken and ribs are oftentimes cooked less than, say, a pork butt or definitely a brisket. So we developed this, keeping that in mind. Same product. I use these in combination together in competition. I'll use this as a base. Oftentimes, this tops what goes on my chicken or my ribs. So one of the things you'll hear me is I use some of these blends in competition and at home and experiment with, to try to figure out different profiles that kind of work with being salty, have a sweet component, a heat component, and some of these products have a smoky component. So a lot of times it's just kind of balancing those and just trying to figure out which one fits the profile I'm looking for on that day, be it in my backyard or at the American Royal World Series of Barbecue. It's one of the things that I think helps separate us from a lot of folks. So it's very important sometimes to play around with your food, I always say. Last product we have here is our beef rub. The beef rub was developed primarily for brisket, and this is definitely one of those rubs that you want to shake up. Pro tip, like I always say, is you could definitely tell with this is shake your rub up. It has a lot of dissimilar products in it. You could probably see here, if you look at this closely, you can see bigger pieces of dehydrated onion and garlic and larger sized pieces of pepper, along with smaller pieces of garlic, smaller pieces of onion, smaller pieces of pepper, finely finally, there's some smaller products in here. And this was developed for a slow, long cook, like our beef ribs, the pastrami beef ribs we do in the lab, as well as burgers and stuff like that, believe it or not. The way that we use this on our burgers and our steaks is I'll actually take this and grind it up in a grinder a little bit to make it finer. Why? Well, the particles here are so big, sometimes it takes a period of time for them to break down, basically melt onto that protein that we're cooking. And with burgers and steaks, a lot of times we're cooking a little bit faster. So a lot of times these products won't break down as easy, and you can get a piece of pepper stuck in your tooth. And that's just one of the things that we as cooks don't really want our judges or our family to have. So this is kind of a quick overview on these 3 rubs. Like I said, play with them at home. We play with them at the lab. We've come up with a combination not only there, but on the competition trail that we found out they work. Now, in addition to our rubs, we also have three salsas. Our 3 salsas were developed the same way. They were a byproduct of failure. Like I said, one of the things that separates us sometimes, why we're called professionals, is it's not because we're better or we have more information or better techniques or better equipment. It's because the reason we're professionals is we've failed more times than a lot of people have ever tried before in their lives. So that's what I always say. When I say, trust me, I'm professional, sometimes I'm saying it with a tongue in cheek, saying, I've failed a lot and don't do this, more so than do that. The rubs that we use, though, the primary rub, the number one, our sauce here at the lab, is our all-purpose. It's the original sauce, competition sweet sauce that we use on pretty much everything. And I mean everything. People use it on cornbread, macaroni and cheese. We use it on the chicken. We use it on our ribs, and I use it on my pork. The background of this, it's a sweet, it's a salty, it's a smoky-ish type sauce that's got a little bit of heat on the back. It's well balanced, and that's kind of why we call it kind of our mother sauce. Next sauce we'll talk about is our Grand Champion sauce here. The Grand Champion sauce, this was started for our brisket on competition. One of the things that we noticed in competition, our brisket needed was a bit more of a smoky or peppery flavor. So we took our mother sauce, worked on it, and developed this. And the byproduct of this was we probably had 7 or 8 perfect scores, perfect 180s they call on this. We've been blessed over the years that this has probably won us just as much money as this sauce now on the tournament trail. And these are probably 2 of the most popular sauces we have in the store. The last sauce that we have is being a good old boy from Eastern North Carolina, we had to come up with a North Carolina sauce. Our North Carolina sauce is a combination of red pepper, black pepper, salt, sugars, and a little bit of water to kind of cut the acidity. Not a whole lot of ingredients. I think there's 5 or 6 ingredients in it. It's a very simple sauce, but it's a very necessary sauce. A lot of times people don't understand why this sauce is used. This sauce is best when it's used on a very fatty cut of meat, like a pork butt. The reason is the pork butt has a lot of fat, but it doesn't have like that acid component that goes with it. This helps cut through that fat, makes it not so rich, creates kind of a, well, a lot of times I use the name a redneck Caesar salad dressing. You have the pork fat combined with this vinegar sauce to create that emulsion that creates this little thing that clings to the sauce that makes you smack your lips and lick your finger. And that's the sign of a good sauce. I mean, that's what you want. So this is one of the sauces that we use. We do use this on the competition trail. And a lot of that came from some experiments that my daughters did. One of the things that she does is my oldest daughter believes that the perfect sauce is these 2 sauces combined 50-50 together on their pork sauce. And she will actually sit at the restaurant or at home and play with these sauces and get them to the right proportion where it's 60-40 or 35, 65, I'm serious. She does it. She's like a little scientist at home. And I enjoy that. I like to see people kind of play with their food. I mean, I want them to eat their food, but I like them to play with their food and come up with these combinations. And a lot of times in the store, people stop me and they just tell me some stuff. And I just shake my head and laugh. And they're like, bet you never heard of that. And I'm like, well, you know what? I have, but that just tells me I'm kind of proud of you folks playing around with it. And I really think it's cool that it's a product that people enjoy. So these are our salsas that we use and our rubs. These can be found in our retail operation, along with one other product I'd like to show you. Over the years in the lab, when we developed it, I said we were going to do something different there at McGee's Crossroad, North Carolina. We were going to start a barbecue restaurant in North Carolina that had no whole hog, that had no hush puppies, and had no French fries. And people laughed and scoffed and said, never worked, son, you're out of your mind. And over the years, people found out I'm not so crazy because of folks like you that have supported us. You guys have said, hey, it's cool, it's all right, we don't need the hush puppies, because you guys have a really wonderful cornbread product. The cornbread product that we use here is a 3-year labor of love between us, the Redneck BBQ Lab, and Atkinson Mill out of Selma, North Carolina, another Johnson County native. A little background on Atkinson Mill, they've been around for 150 plus years. They have a proven quality product that I don't think they've ever changed anything. They don't need to. In my mind, it's the perfect cornbread. But when we were at the lab, I needed to tweak it a little bit because my customers said they needed something here or something there. And after 3 years of playing around, we came up with a product that the Wheelers at Atkinson Mill said, hey, let's run it. So now we've got our own cornbread mix that folks are selling out in the retail environments and stores, and we're proud to put our name on it. And that's about it for right now. We are developing some other stuff. We've got some more rubs that we've been using. We've got a sauce. I call it my HTM sauce. It's kind of a secret thing that I've been playing around with. It's one of the sauces that popped up in my head. Look forward to that coming out soon. We're close to doing production on it as soon as we finish the final stuff. It's been doing really well in the competition world for us. It's just one of those things. Like I said, we're always trying something different. We're always trying to make something better, even if it seemingly is the best. And we've enjoyed what you guys see before us, what we've enjoyed producing, what you guys see before us, basically. So anyway, I'm Jerry Stevenson, Chief Redneck in Charge of the Redneck BBQ Lab, head cook, along with my sister Roxanne Manley of Redneck Scientific. And these are the retail products that you guys can buy at home now that you can use to make barbecue, just like we do on the competition trail and at the lab. And one of the things, like I always like to tell people, that I think I'm most proud of is we just don't put a name and say we're the best. These products are the byproduct of proven winning competition barbecue. No. Check that. These products are proven winning world championship barbecue products. Hey guys, if you guys found this video informative, please like it, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends. Most importantly, please leave some comments and suggestions below as to what you would guys like to see done in the future with these products on different foods or side dishes. Thank you.